Oh boy. Here we go, people. Now, these questions are non-comic TV movie related questions. This is from my good friend, one of my fellow YouTube family members, Blue Goblin. And Gabi always delivers, and he had delivered me 15 questions, people. But this is all for my fellow wrestling heads out here. And let's get started, shall we? I'm always up for the challenge. Gabi doesn't he doesn't hold back, and I love that. Okay, first question. First question is, what are your thoughts on what Bryan Danielson did to that cocksucker, Michael Cole? And also, what do you expect to see develop from this? What do you see develop from this? Okay, first of all, when basically Bryan Danielson on NXT cut a shoot, that's what I'm calling it, on Michael Cole and all of them. That no, he's just great, and they got no denying it. What Bryan Danielson did, was great. I don't care what it was great. That was probably the biggest moment in NXT so far. The best moment. Right there, Bryan Danielson showed me I'm good. I'm there. They call me the American Dragon for a reason, and I got you coming on saying I got no personality is great. Is okay. What he did was great. I was like, me and the bro was like, good. We actually recorded that session right there, just right there. What Bryan Danielson cut was pure magic. Alright? Him calling Michael Cole a poor man's excuse for JR, right on point. And showing how punk ass Michael Cole really is. Okay? The guy has no backbone, no balls. Okay? Yes, Bryan Danielson is the American Dragon, yes, but I'm not gonna let somebody just push me around. But right there, just showing that Michael Cole is a wimp. Okay, he cut that promo, Gabi, so well. I fell out dying because of what he was doing to Michael Cole, but clapping my ass off because of what he was trying to accomplish. Now, hopefully they don't bring him in as a heel and everything like that. What he was doing was straight up real, you know. And he literally just said, you know what? Just told the truth, and I loved it. Tonight we're gonna see, supposedly Michael Cole said if Brandon don't come out and apologize to him, he's gonna sue him. Okay, Michael Cole actually said to Josh Matthews after that, before he walked off and came back, it was he can't take criticism. Okay, let me explain something about criticism. To what Michael Cole was doing was not criticism. He was belittling the man, talking about, oh, he's not going to do anything because he's a vegan, because he's a vegetarian, he doesn't eat meat, he doesn't watch TV, he likes to spend time with his family, things like that. He was just belittling the guy because of his personal beliefs, not his wrestling ability. So, and it makes me sick to hear people like Josh Matthews and people like that backing him up, saying Bryan Danielson crossed the line. He crossed the line. He didn't cross the line. And in some way, somebody should come out and say, you know what, Cole, you pushed him to that. And you know what, you got exactly what was coming to you. So, other than that, that was great in my part. I thought it was great. Next question. What do you think of ROH TV title tournament, if you saw it? I didn't see it. I didn't see Davey Richardson and Eddie Edwards. I gotta see it, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't see, and those are two of my favorites right there. So to answer some of your other question for ROH, that's to answer that. There you go. So I don't have to answer that question. Those are some of my favorites. If TNA, your third question, if TNA were to fire Vince Russo, how much would you go mark out? 100%. 100%. The dude is a bastard. I'd mark out so much on this guy. Like, now TNA is going in a bold statement. Okay? So, other than that, yeah. I'll mark out. Alright. Next question you asked me, do you think it was the right thing for WWE to have Bret Hart as the new GM of Raw? A friend of mine, Vendetta 941, talked to me as well. He called me and asked me this as well. He asked me, do you think that now Vince has made it officially he's sorry for what he did to Bret back in, 97, by having him win the U.S. title, had him go over on him, demolish the Vince McMahon character, basically kill it, as well as make basically now make him GM. Another friend of mine, when I was watching Who Slamming Who, they talked about they wouldn't be surprised if they had JR be the GM, and I was like, whoa, that might be something. And once they said he's a Hall of Famer, then I thought Jim Ross. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna do it. And then Bret Hart comes out, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not bad about it. I mean, look, it's about time maybe Raw gets a GM that is gonna try to be not biased, can stick up for himself, is not gonna be scared, and is not gonna get heat, like is gonna be a kind of a fan favorite in my book. But I thought Bret's contract was up in April or May, but I guess, hey, I don't mind it. But as long as he's not wrestling, okay, because he doesn't need to do anything like that. Okay, and it'll be good to see a GM that's not gonna be getting into zoot suits, even though I like getting decked out in suits myself, looking slick and tough. But I don't mind not getting in suits either. Like, show a GM that is a regular guy as well, So, but yeah, I don't mind it at all. Your fifth question is it me, or did the main event of Raw last night just flat out suck? I thought it was sloppy, totally sloppy, with quite a few botches. Yes, it did. It did have a lot of botches. I'm glad you touched on that, because yeah, it did. It wasn't the best main event. I have no idea why they put John Cena in that match at all. It should have just been Jericho and Edge, I guess. Thank God, I'm going off side, but thank God Randy Orton is okay. He just dislocated his shoulder at Over the Limit. But he looked pretty well with me. Yeah, it did look pretty sloppy to me. And I'm once again, you got a good eye, Gabi, because I was hoping I wasn't the only one that didn't think that way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, abso-freaking-lutely. But yeah, there was a lot of botches in that. From Jericho tweaking his leg to many other stuff I can right off the top of my head. Alright? So moving on. Number 6, you have... I know this may scare a few fans, but when Bret Hart won the U.S. title from The Miz, I had this thought in the back of my head. Do you see TNA copying that by having another old guy from the past with TNA win the TNA World Title? If Hogan wins the title anytime, I'll stop watching TNA. Hopefully they don't do nothing stupid like that, Gabi. I'm sorry. Yes, I know a lot of people were against, Brett beating Miz for the U.S. title. I understand that. I understand some people, but you saw what Brett did. He had a tournament. He made sure he wasn't gonna try to make a fool out of himself too much.